clever bug. The Kongversation.
If I re-enter the cow and go back in the reverse way up the ass, will I return to my home universe?
Hello, and welcome to the Kongversation. I'm Hyle Russell.
And I am Matt Cornah. Hello.
Hello, Matt. Matt, I have a question for you. I'm so glad you're here.
Oh, thank you for having me on your program.
Well, very few people in the world would discuss this with me. I had a few options, and
oh God, where's this going?
You weren't busy in this hour or two that it'll take to discuss this, so I thought, yeah, Matt'll do.
Okay.
But
have you got a weird spot? Is that it?
Yeah. Well, a bit, because I have a question that needs checked up on. Okay. Matt,
ask Dr. Mattles.
Yes. Matt, is 2025 the year of beloved Donkey Kong baddie / armadillo army?
It's a very strong... thank you for asking me.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Because I've been hoping someone would. I think you could very much make the case for that, Hyle Russell. I think you could very much make the case for it. What's your thinking, though? You have to tell me. Show you're working.
Oh, you want me to actually explain that bizarre statement I just made? Well, consider this, then, if you will.
Okay.
If we discount the Game Boy Color remake of Donkey Kong Country, which of course we all know came out in the year 2000, and if we discount the Game Boy Advance remake of Donkey Kong Country, which as we all know came out in 2003, then the last time beloved Donkey Kong baddie / armadillo army appeared in a video game was 1999, 26 years ago. Now, the boss variant of the army, known as Armadillo, he was in the big 3D Donkey Kong adventure on the then current Nintendo console. We all remember that. And the regular rank and file armies, well, they appeared on a handheld system as enemies that Conker the Squirrel would encounter in his debut solo game, Conker's Pocket Tales.
Hang on a minute, Hyle. You seem to be making the case for 1999 being the year of the army. You'll need to expand on this for 2025 to make the cut.
Well, just like the Zodiac, every animal comes back around again eventually. You just have to wait it out. And so here we are 26 years later, and I'm looking around me. I'm looking around my room. I'm looking at all the things within my field of vision, and I'm thinking, holy shit, Matt, armies, they're back. Because yet again, they appear in the big 3D Donkey Kong adventure on the current Nintendo console. And they also appear on a handheld as enemies that Conker the Squirrel encounters in his debut solo game, Conker's Pocket Tales.
I mean, that's extraordinary, isn't it? Wait a minute, Conker's Pocket Tales?
Conker's Pocket Tales? Yes! How is that possible? How is Conker's Pocket Tales back, Matt? Well, don't worry, because our prayers have been answered, because we have now definitive proof that God, or a higher power, or maybe even the collective benign spiritual energies from us all channeling, pooling into this great cosmic void, we have proof that it exists. Some deity.
The Kongversation is now going to be a religious podcast, so
I feel like we always have been. We always have been, especially when we worship on the altar of Conker's Pocket Tales, because this is a year that has, of course, seen the resurgence of the Donkey Kong series. We all know that. We've all talked about it here on the Kongversation. Blah, 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 blah. Donkey Kong Bonanza. We know it. We get it at this point. It's old news.
I love it when you do an impression of yourself.
Oh, Donkey Kong. I want to talk for 8 hours about Donkey Kong Bonanza. Oh, and then Donkey Kong went to this sub-layer and there were rock people. We get it. We get it. But my point is, Donkey Kong being in a Game of the Year nominee, old news. All right, it's no longer sexy.
Yeah, man.
What is
Come on,
sexy?
move on.
What is sexy is one of Donkey Kong's backdoor spin-offs gets a little bit of the rub in 2025. Banjo and Kazooie, they're too busy. They're too busy not making games. They're too busy not appearing in anything to take part in this grand celebration of the DKU that we've all been experiencing. Banjo and Kazooie, they're losing money on gambling apps or whatever people do nowadays. I don't know. I don't really talk to anybody outside of this podcast, but Conker. Now, Conker always comes through just when you count that little guy out. Remember back, maybe a decade ago, a little bit more than a decade ago. I'm talking about the early to mid 2010s. And, we were in this weird period after Donkey Kong Country Returns, but we were like losing momentum from that game. And then, Rare was doing all the Connect Sports titles, and we were just like, what's happening here? But then Conker randomly showed up during that one Xbox showcase. Remember Conker's big reunion, Matt?
Of course I remember. It's a very strange time, wasn't it? And it was very much seemed like it was a great rebirth for the Conker series, to the extent that, didn't you have the chap who was behind Conker's big reunion on this show? Who I remember him talking very enthusiastically about future plans.
Yeah, we had one of the chaps on from
one of the chaps.
Team Dakota.
By the way, I don't usually use the word chaps. I'm not that much of a stereotype. I think it's whenever I'm around Americans, it all comes out.
You feel like you have to just put on airs for me.
Yes, tally-ho and what?
Yeah, that's why I like to talk about hamburgers around you, Matt.
Yes.
Truth is, I don't even enjoy a hamburger. I don't partake.
No. You talk about them a lot.
I do, but it's all just part of the gimmick. No, we had somebody on from Team Dakota, Project Spark, Conker's Big Reunion. And, Conker's Big Reunion, I'll defend that to this day. What a delightful little treat that was. And it was just like, wow, Conker's back. I didn't expect this. And do you remember how it was marketed as episode 1? And then we just didn't get any more.
So heuristic, starting something with episode 1, right?
Yeah. So, we've had this experience in the past, is all I'm saying, where we have this surprise return of Conker in something that's labeled number 1, and then there's never a follow-up. So let's hope that history doesn't repeat itself in this instance. Let's hope it's more like the Army symmetry from 1999 to 2025, because we're discussing another Conker-centric release that is billed as the first in what's hopefully going to be a running series. We're talking about Rare Collection 1, the new cartridge for the range of Blaze Evercade systems. We're going to get into that too, Matt, don't worry. This is the first ever reissue of Conker's Pocket Tales.
Hooray!
I'm excited. I love Conker's Pocket Tale. I love discussing Conker's Pocket Tales.
Well, yes, that's a thing, isn't it? Do you know what? I happened to tune into one of the Idaho Cruise streams not long ago, and I remember Andrew of this parish saying something like, "Do you know, I think I like interesting games more than I like good games." And he used Conker's Pocket Tales as an example.
Well, we'll get into the inherent quality of Conker's Pocket Tales.
I'm not saying by that I agree with that analysis of Conker's Pocket Tales specifically, but I just thought it was a funny comment, and I thought I'd regurgitate it here.
Adam and Andrew of the Idaho Crew, they hate a lot of things. Yes. And I'm all about celebrating the positives in something versus tearing something down. So you're not going to get any guffaws at Conker's Pocket Tales' expense on this episode. We're going to celebrate the many joys that can be derived from it. And I'm not going to sit here and be like, this is a bad game and they should feel bad for making it.
Yes. This is a bad game. Sometimes when you say something, I just enjoy the voice you do.
Conker's Pocket Tales. I really hoped everybody involved with that lost their jobs. That's all I have to say about it, because, wow, what a game. That game isn't cinema, that's for sure.
It's not cinema, it's right about that. This character that you're doing. What's the name of this character?
The stuck-up cinema snob who plays a video game.
Stuck-up cinema snob, yeah.
Who plays a video game.
That's his full name. Okay.
Yeah. So it's a little YouTube personality I'm trying out.
Yes, I'm getting YouTube personality from that voice. Yeah.
So, anyway.
Lots of jump cuts.
We'll get into Conker's Pocket Tales. We'll get into why I spent about $130 to play Conker's Pocket Tales again in 2025. Even though I have the cartridge, it's right over there. I have the original release. It's fine. We'll get into it on this episode of The Kongversation. Before we do, though, don't worry. This is a bonus episode of The Kongversation. I realize people are thinking, you're talking about Donkey Kong Country 2 for its 30th anniversary. You're not done talking about Donkey Kong Country 2, are you? No, we're not. Don't worry. We've still got another episode coming up with Jeff Onen. We're doing a Tears of a Kong episode for DKC2. That'll be next in the chronology of The Kongversation. Don't you worry. We've still got to get through Donkey Kong Bonanza's Emerald Rush. We're doing an episode on that. There are a couple more topics we need to hit before the end of Season 13, which, by the way, will be the longest season of The Kongversation.
Yes.
Not just in episode counts, but also in runtime. Do you realize that we are now over 161 hours of runtime for this season of The Kongversation? We are approaching the 1 week mark. 1 week I've spent dedicating my life out of this year. You only get 52 of them a year, Matt, and I've spent one of them just talking on this podcast.
Let's make it 2 weeks by the end of this episode.
I am cooked.
We're going to go into the biographies of every Acorn person, including the ones that aren't named individuals.
Just the ones walking on the street that you run into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone in the vulture culture.
The vulture culture.
Of whom possibly the less said, the better.
The second time Rare has referenced vulture culture.
Yes.
Wasn't that an Alan Parsons project?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe. I've got some of their albums. I don't know.
My point being, Rare likes to reuse the same references and jokes again and again and again.
It's just a fun rhyme.
We'd like to do that too, and that's great. So anyway, my point being, The Kongversation, we're not done season 13 yet. This is a bonus episode because we have so many topics we have to get through before the end of the month. And
I mean, in a way, all of the episodes are bonus episodes, really, if you think about it. We don't need to do any of this.
Yeah, actually, none of you need to listen to any of them. Please, do something better with your life than supporting DK Vine. But, thank you to our patrons, by the way.
Please support DK Vine. It's good. It's good. It's nice here. This is a nice website.
Thank you to our patrons. You can support DK Vine at dkvine.com/Patreon. We live stream these for our $5 and up patrons, but being that this is a Conker's Pocket Tales episode for the Evercade format, we've only got one person in a live stream right now. Hello, Snake Fighter. Snake Fighter doesn't even want to be here. That's how miserable this topic is for the majority of our audience.
Well, Snake Fighter, you'll be pleased to hear that this is the game in which we not only see the return of Army, but Slipper the Snake. Arguably.
Arguably, yeah. I don't try to make that argument. It is, without a doubt, Army. The snakes are a little bit less detailed. It's a little bit hard to see. But you do fight Histamine, and that is a snake. So there is some snake fighting in Conker's Pocket Tales. Finally, I would like to give a quick plug to our friend Bridge MT, who is doing a charity stream Friday, December 12th, on their Twitch channel, twitch.tv/BridgeMT. They will be doing a Donkey Kong Country 2 speedrun hour. They're going to try to beat Donkey Kong Country 2 in 1 hour, which seems like death to me. I could not imagine spending anything less than 60 hours in that game, but, you know.
Cranky Kong could do it, and
Cranky
just
Kong.
with one life.
Cranky Kong could do it in one life, but it's for a good cause. They'll also be playing Mario Kart World, and as we all know, Donkey Kong is in that one.
Yeah. I mean, Cranky Kong wouldn't give the money to charity, in fairness.
That's true. This is in support of the Neo-Futurist Theater in Chicago, Illinois, and it's a theater that's all about celebrating the creative arts and inclusivity. Two things very much on the ropes this year, thanks to shitbag oligarchs. My words, not theirs. So they're simply trying to raise $250 for the theater. So that's pretty doable, right? So check it out. Friday, December 12th, twitch.tv/BridgeMT. All right, Matt, Rare Collection 1. Now, before we talk about this release in particular, I think we need to explain Conker's Pocket Tales a little bit more.
Is that possible?
I think it's doable because I think I've been doing it for the last 26 years in some form or fashion. I unprompted just walk up to people in the shop, in the store, and I say, have you heard about Conker's Pocket Tales? I'm like one of those religious missionaries with the Bible.
Have you heard the good news about Conker's Pocket Tales?
And I think it's good for people to hear about Conker's Pocket Tales because what an oddity this thing is. Not just in the annals of the DKU, but just video games in particular. Like, there are so few comparisons to be had with Conker's Pocket Tales because this is a title that was self-published by Rare, following Diddy Kong Racing, their first self-published game. It came out in 1999. It was originally designed to be the Game Boy / Super Game Boy counterpart to 12 Tales Conker 64. Right. Kind of like the pseudo sequel, like Donkey Kong Land. You know how that went. But 12 Tales, of course, entered development hell as they tried to find a worthwhile direction, especially once Banjo-Kazooie came out and, kind of lapped what 12 Tales was doing several times over.
Yes, the 12 Tales element is fascinating to me, especially since the Rare Replay stuff came out, sort of going a little bit deeper into it. Because every time, I don't know about you, Hyle, every time I see anything from 12 Tales Conker 64, I'm scouring every detail for, is that where that element of Conker's Pocket Tales comes from? And it's also wonderful to hear the fully instrumented versions of all the music from Conker's Pocket Tales, which is, of course, square wave-ified versions of the music composed for 12 Tales.
It's interesting because, of course, I was following Conker's Quest and then 12 Tales Conker 64 as it came to be known from its original announcement at E3 97 alongside Banjo-Kazooie, and then that interest was turbocharged once Diddy Kong Racing came out first, and they used Diddy Kong Racing to make these games pseudo spin-offs of the Donkey Kong series. And following both Banjo-Kazooie and 12 Tales, I saw 12 Tales development as it went on, and it just kept getting delayed and delayed and delayed. And they finished Conker's Pocket Tales, and still Conker 64 was nowhere close to being done. So what they decided to do then was redo Conker's Pocket Tales for the new Game Boy Color system. And then when that version was complete, Conker 64 still nowhere close to being done. So Rare opted to just release Conker's Pocket Tales first and make that Conker's actual solo series debut following Diddy Kong Racing. And because Pocket Tales had 2 versions, they decided, well, waste not, want not, let's put both versions on the same cartridge.
Yeah.
And there were a few releases like this around that time where
the only one I can think of is Wario Land 2. But there's probably others.
They had the black Game Boy cartridge where, as opposed to the standard gray Game Boy carts or the clear plastic Game Boy Color exclusive carts. And so you could pop this bad boy in a regular Game Boy or a Game Boy Pocket or a Super Game Boy, complete with the birthday present border with like balloons and stuff. And if you did that, then that was your version. But if you stuck it in a Game Boy Color, you'd have to erase your save files for the GB version, and it would be very traumatic.
Well, a exciting thing about this new release of Conker's Pocket Tales on the Evercade means, Hyle. It means you now have 2 copies of that game.
I do, yes.
So, yes, strictly speaking,
in theory, I could then
if you're prepared to erase your old Game Boy Color save file.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you could bring yourself to do that.
No, that would be like, I don't know, smothering your own child underneath a pillow.
So you'd be very happy to do that then. Okay, fine.
Look, that happened one time, all right? And I said I feel bad about it.
You do feel bad about it, and we forgive you, You're other than that, you're quite a good person.
Yeah, you have one oopsie doodle in your life.
Yeah,
and people just
one whoopsie plops, and everyone thinks you're the bad guy.
Yeah, they just put that chain around you, and I moved on. I moved on in my life. I now do a podcast where I talk about Conker's Pocket Tales with my friend Matt.
Yeah,
it's wholesome.
Oh, you called me your friend.
Sorry if that was presumptuous on my end.
It's just nice. It's nice to have a friend. I've often wondered what it would be like to have one.
Right? I don't know what friends do. They probably talk about 26-year-old Game Boy games starring cartoon squirrels.
Yeah, probably that's what they do.
Yeah. So, Conker's Pocket Tales had a much smaller than average print run because it was self-published by Rare. It didn't have a lot of budgetary muscle behind it. I think my local GameStop only got in 1 copy, and I was the one who got it. So, sorry to any locals in my childhood area who didn't get that copy of Conker's Pocket Tales. But if there were any Pocket Tales copies still in circulation, it was pulled in the year 2000 in the lead up to Conker's Bad Fur Day when Nintendo was like, yeah, we'll let you release this saucy, raunchy title, but I don't think Conker the Squirrel should be in any other releases at the same time that could be picked up by children like Diddy Kong Racing or Conker's Pocket Tales. So they yoinked it.
I like the idea that it's been recalled, like something's faulty and dangerous.
Yeah, we played Conker's. We played Conker's Pocket Tales, and it turns out no good. Send it back.
It turns out no good.
So,
what specifically is wrong with it? It just turns out it was no good.
Yeah, it turns out the Mako Island stuff kind of bullshit.
Yes. Yeah, so I am reminding myself in the process of preparation for this episode of various things that are annoying about Conker's Pocket Tales.
Annoying, but in a lovely way.
Yes. To the point where I wonder, I wonder if there's a glitch in the ROM that the Evercade people have used. No, it was like that originally. That's exactly what it was like.
Oh, but what charming fun it is. How quaint this game is.
I wonder what we could be talking about.
Yeah. But look, Conker's Pocket Tales, it fell into obscurity, especially once the buyout hits, and there really was no platform for something like Conker's Pocket Tales going forward, especially once Bad Fur Day came out. And that kind of became the identity of Conker going forward. And so when Rare announced Rare Collection 1 as part of their 40th anniversary celebrations, I was shocked that Conker's Pocket Tales was included within the 12 games.
And it sticks out like a sore thumb as well, because it came out significantly later than everything else in the package.
Yes. So Rare Collection 1 came out November 27th, which was the US Thanksgiving holiday. Now, I think in the UK it might have actually come out on the 28th, Black Friday proper, but it was actually released here in the States on the 27th when most of the stores are closed.
All right, stop showing off.
No, I'm saying, look, because of tariffs.
We got it a day earlier than you, Matt.
I didn't,
what
Matt.
What do you think about that, you fucker?
I didn't, Matt, because Blaze is a UK company, and so because of tariffs and some other logistics, it took a bit of time for my copy to arrive. And also, the price was actually far more than what was initially advertised, again, because of tariffs. I think it was about $12 more expensive than what was promoted here in the States, at least. So anyway, I got it. My point is, I got it. I got Rare Collection 1. It arrived, and we're doing this episode because it's in my hands right now. I'm hugging it.
You have to be able to write it off.
It's going to be a business expense, don't worry. But because my business is Conker's Pocket Tales, Matt. I'm very serious about it.
I think it should be everyone's business.
I agree. Could you imagine if there were more LLCs about Conker's Pocket Tales? Like, I'm going to start a small business just about talking Conker's Pocket Tales.
It would be good. So I just wanted to pick up on something you were... by the way, that was a great bit of supportive conversational response. Just say, yes, that's good, and then talk about the thing that you were going to talk about. Great, right? Anyway, I just wanted to pick up on something you were saying earlier about how Conker's Pocket Tales was seemingly not actually withdrawn, but they stopped making it and selling it after Conker's Bad Fur Day was about to be released. Ostensibly because of how different it is. And it just got me to thinking, it's just a thought that's wandered into my brain now. Conker's Pocket Tales is such a strange game. It's not that much like what 12 Tales would have been like either, I don't think. Because I look at the things that are in 12 Tales, I can't really imagine what of that goes into Pocket Tales exactly. I think Pocket Tales is its own weird fever dream, whichever way you slice it.
I think they were kind of taking some liberties and doing their own thing. How much is very hard to say, given that we've never played any iteration of pre-Bad Fur Day.
I don't think the acorn people, as we understand them, very important species of creature in the Donkey Kong universe, acorn people.
Acorn people, yeah.
I don't think they really feature very much in 12 Tales. In fact, the species of acorn person in 12 Tales tend to be those frowny-faced baddie ones.
Yeah. Yeah, from what we've seen, there are no actual acorn people as we know them in 12 Tales.
Not a single mustachioed acorn person in 12 Tales Conker 64.
For shame!
I mean, yeah, had they added those, maybe the project would have come together and they wouldn't have needed to do the
just
M-rated
put acorn
reboot.
People in it. Mm-hmm. When will developers understand?
So it would have been an oddity no matter what. And it's even an oddity, as you were saying, within this Rare Collection 1 compilation.
Yes, it is.
So this collection, Rare Collection 1, has 12 Ultimate Play the Game and Rare titles, 11 of which were featured in Rare Replay, back in 2015. So there's really quick, because we're not going to be talking about 11 of these, really. Jetpack, Lunar Jetman.
Jetpack from Donkey Kong 64?
From Donkey Kong 64. Attic Attack, or is it a Tick Attack?
If you like.
If you like. The original Saberwolf, Underworld, Night Lore, Gunfright, RC Pro-Am, Cobra Triangle, Battletoads, Battletoads Arcade, and then Conker's Pocket Tales. And Conker's Pocket Tales is the sole DKU inclusion, although, of course, Saberwolf, Underworld, and Night Lore are all pre-DKU Saberman games. Battletoads 2020 was DKU, and as you said, Jetpack's history with Donkey Kong 64 is how that game is mostly known to a generation of players.
I preempted you. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. We're just talking.
We're just talking. We're just two friends talking.
11 that aren't Conker's Pocket Tales, though, they're all pre-Donkey Kong Country games. And really, Donkey Kong Country and Killer Instinct were the beginning of what we consider the modern era of Rare. Battletoads was that weird, nebulous period kind of between early Rare, like licensed game Rare, and then the partnership with Nintendo Rare that really made Rare a household name. So yeah, it feels weird that Conker's Pocket Tales is included in this bundle when it just doesn't fit with everything else in there.
Well, it doesn't, because it's a sort of 8-bit top-down-y kind of pixelated game, you know. To a layperson, maybe it seems like it's a similar sort of game, you know, with this amount of distance in time between now and Conker's Pocket Tales and now and, say, Saberwolf.
Yes.
And difference isn't such a difference. I don't know if I'm making sense.
Adding Conker is, of course, a bit of a boon because it diversifies this portfolio, if you will, for Rare fans of several eras. So, for example, like the ZX Spectrum stuff in here, that might not be appealing to fans of a certain age. But then you throw in Battletoads and Battletoads Arcade, and they're like, okay, yeah, I liked Battletoads. And then you throw in Conker, you know, DKU era Rare, and you're like, yeah, okay, I'll buy it for Conker.
Yeah. So I mean, my wife saw me playing this. Honestly, I'm not joking. I have a wife. I married a human woman. Anyway, she saw me playing this and was naturally quite curious what I'd been wasting all of my money on this time.
Yeah.
And I explained to her that it was a collection of early games by Rare, who made some of the Donkey Kong games in the 1990s. And by way of demonstration, selected entirely at random one of the games you mentioned, Knight's Law, the isometric Saberman classic. Now, I don't really know my way around Knight's Law. I've had a bash once or twice on Rare Replay, but I've never really got into it properly. And it's one of those where I'm sure it was very impressive indeed at the time, but it's not a good one to choose to demonstrate the collection to a layperson, to an outsider, to someone from out of town. It's very bewildering. So maybe what I should have done is gone, look, Conker the Squirrel's in it, you know, from that Pooh game.
Yeah. That's what I did when I showed it to my wife. She was like,
yes.
"Oh, what's that little device in your hand?" I was like, "Well, this is an Evercade, and this is Conker." Now, Conker, as you've heard me explain to you several times over, debuted in 1997's Diddy Kong Racing, and then would go on to be in the Pooh game. But this is what happened in between.
Very much an interquel.
Yeah, it's also just fun how most people know Conker as the Pooh game.
I think that's fun. I just like saying the word poo. I like to say it at least once on these episodes.
So yes, I got my Rare Collection 1 the next week. It arrived earlier than the forecast, and I originally had to reach out to you, and I was like, Matt, we need to delay the episode. I'm not going to have it in time. But That was fine because you were going to be in Scotland that week, and you were like, I can't take a microphone to Scotland.
No, they wouldn't know what it was. They'd be like, oh, what's this strange device you brought to our country? That's how they talk.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have got it through customs.
Yeah. So anyway, we rescheduled, and here we are. But it arrived, and I was like, is this wrong? And it seems small. It's a teeny little case, but my God, I love this little case, Matt. This is a nice, chonky, clamshell game case.
They're kind of cute, aren't they? Yeah.
Yeah, like, this is honestly a long overdue dream of mine to own a case like this, because not being a Sega kid, I was a Nintendo kid, and not being a Disney kid, those early 1990s big clamshell game or VHS cases, they would put their video game cartridges and or movies in for home consumption. I always looked at those and I was like, those are so nice. And all Nintendo gives me are little flimsy plastic sleeves. And then they stopped even giving you that. And I was like, I wish I could have some of those on my shelf, but not enough to get a Genesis or buy, I don't know, The Little Mermaid. So anyway, I finally got one, Matt. I finally got one of these nice, like, old school video rental cases.
They're quite nice. I suppose the closest analog would be the DS and 3DS cases, which are plastic. Or
those are very thin. Those are very...
They are quite thin. You want a certain fatness to them.
Yeah, I like the heft. I like when it's a brick, is what I'm saying.
You like something that could be used as a murder weapon in Cluedo.
And it's clear they thought Battletoads was going to be the biggest draw on this, because they used the artwork for Battletoads to kind of anchor everything, and then they just put all the other games in tiny little, like, postage stamp squares around the box art. But, you know, it's fine.
I'd like to live in the universe where they promote it just by having loads of Acorn people, not even Conker. Basically, I want the box art for this game to be the key art for this episode of the Kongversation.
What side of the bread we butter? And that's the Conker side. You flip it around, though, and the 3 games they specifically highlight with screenshots on the back is Battletoads Arcade, Conker's Pocket Tales, and Artsy Pro-Am. So it's clear they're still thinking, yeah, those are probably 3 of the strongest brands associated with this collection. So Conker does get some love on the back. Can I just say really quick, though, I was a bit confused for a while what the big 48 on the spine meant. I didn't know why there was this big number that said 48, and I thought it was...
I've not noticed it.
Oh, yeah, there's a big number that says 48 on the spine of the case, Matt. And I thought, what is 48? I thought it was some sort of brand signifier.
Let me see if I can work it out. 48.
Well, I'm going to explain it to you if you don't.
48. What are the 48 of? 48 colours of the rainbow. 48 days of Christmas. 48 Acorn people. 48 Acorn people!
48 Acorn people, yeah.
I bet it is.
Including the ones you pass on the street and the vulture culture.
Yeah, including the drones.
Yeah. So, yeah, I thought it was maybe like Heinz ketchup. I don't know if you have Heinz ketchup over there.
Yes, we do, yes.
Okay. Well, you might have your
own. I used to live
own
near the Heinz factory.
You might have your own locally sourced tomato ketchup company. I don't know.
I saw the Heinz Oompa Loompas going about their business.
But on Heinz products, they put the 57. That's their lucky number, 57, and they claim they have 57 varieties, even though at the time they sold far more than 57. It was just a lucky number for the founder or whatever. But anyway, so I thought maybe it was just some sort of like, oh, Evercade 48. We really like 4 and we really like 8. But it turns out this is the 48th Evercade cartridge release, Rare Collection 1. They actually number them like we number Kongversation episodes.
Not including bonus episodes, though, like this one.
Yes.
This is a non. Can this be honorary episode 48?
Well, this is episode 1350, which sounds far more impressive than 48. So
far more. Okay,
far more.
Oh,
yes.
so it's in the proper numbering, but it's still a bonus episode.
It's a bonus episode. It just
okay.
means we're doing an extra one this week.
As long as I'm part of the canon, that's fine.
You are. Yeah, this isn't a Game Boy side game that people will debate the canonicity of when we get the gritty adult reboot.
I really wish it was 48 Acorn people, though, and all the other cartridges have 0 on them.
Yeah, every Evercade release is marked by how many Acorn people is featured therein.
I bought a plush Acorn that you can get. There's some company that does like cutesified plush things of like an avocado or like a strawberry or I don't know, a willy, I don't know, but with little eyes on it. And I bought some large googly eyes and glued them to it to make a more Acorn person like Acorn person. So I've got an Acorn person plush in my plush collection, and I just don't know when I was ever going to have an opportunity to tell the world that, and I felt like this was the forum for it.
Well, Matt,
I've said it now.
You've said that, and I'll match you. I picked up an acorn that had fallen from a tree, and I took it inside, and I glued googly eyes on it, and I drew a little mouth, and it's on my desk.
It's rotted away.
No, it's still on my desk. It's still intact. It's my little acorn
embalm
buddy.
it or something so it doesn't sort of decompose. Or worse still, become an oak tree in your house.
I think so long as it's not in the elements and or buried in the dirt, it'll be fine for a bit.
I don't really know how trees work.
No, you don't. That's one of the things I've always complained about you.
Yeah, I know. I was hoping you weren't going to mention it, but now I've brought it up.
Well, we don't know how trees work. Maybe we can figure out what the hell a Blaze Evercade is. So
that is a great segue.
Yeah, thank you. I'm pretty good at this. This is my episode
1342nd episode.
Yeah. If this is my 48th episode, I would not know how to do such an effortless segue, but don't worry.
I mean, we've ruined it by lampshading it, but hey.
I've done this. I've done this for a solid week out of my year this year, so it's old hat.
Yes.
No, I'm a child of the 1990s and the video game culture and ecosystem from that point, and because of that, I'm horribly ignorant when it comes to how things work in the world of video games. And that's a shame because my business, my livelihood is being a Donkey Kong journalist and scholar. So I should know how things work, but I don't, because when I was a kid, there was Nintendo and there was Sega, and then you had Atari as the old one. And that's the way it worked.
And Commodore 64 if you're that kind of person, yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's like cola, right? You have Coca-Cola, you have Pepsi, and then you might have RC if you're feeling freaky. But then here comes the PlayStation, and I'm just like, well, that's not a real console. That's one of those weird machines, those weird expensive devices that you see in the store on display, and you're like, what is that? Like, if you were like...
Yeah, it plays games, but it's mainly a DVD player.
And what's a DVD? I want a VHS in a big clamshell, but I'm not a Disney kid. No, back in the 90s, if you would walk around an electronics store, maybe Circuit City, still here in the States, you would see these video game machines, but none of your friends would have them, and therefore it wasn't real. If your friends didn't have it, if you couldn't have playground chats about these, then they were just these weird ancillary things in the peripheral, and it took me a while to realize that the PlayStation was actually more successful than the Nintendo 64. I think it was around late 97 or early 98 when it dawned on me that not only was PlayStation here to stay, but it was actually doing better.
I think it took Nintendo a long time to realize that as well, if you ask me.
Yeah, but I was just in my bubble. I was in my little insular bubble, and none of my friends had a PlayStation. None of my friends had a PlayStation until probably 99. So, like,
yeah, well, when I was growing up, the PlayStation was very much the console that all the bully boys had. And
the bully boys. And you were just a sweet little lad, a chap, if you will, who liked playing Conker's Pocket Tales. And you're like, how many Acorn people are in these PlayStation games? Look, it says on the spine, 0.
I think one of them might have a 1 on the spine.
Oh no, is that DKU? We have to have that debate now. So, I mean, likewise, I didn't treat the Xbox with any, like, serious adherence to it being a real thing until they bought Rare, and I was like, oops, I guess I have to now. So,
well, shall we take a moment now to remember how absurd we all thought it was that Microsoft, the Minesweeper / MSXL company, decided to start a computer games console. We all laughed.
I mean, judging from some of the recent decisions, I think we're still laughing, but...
Yeah.
Oh. Anyway, my point being, I get stuck in my ways. And for me, video games are very much rooted in when I got into video games, and that was the console wars of the 90s. So when Rare announced Rare Collection 1 for the Evercade, that meant I had to quickly learn what an Evercade was. And as I said, Blaze is a UK-based company, and this platform has been around since 2020. Sorry, I was too busy avoiding COVID to learn about the Evercade. I think that's your problem, Blaze, not mine.
Yeah, it's a very odd thing, isn't it? I think there might be lots of things like this that are kind of not quite mainstream consoles, but not quite unofficial lash-ups either.
Yeah.
But it's the first time I've ever actually bought one.
This time last year, I was pinching my pennies. They don't even make pennies anymore. That's how long ago this was. They've really discontinued the U.S. penny in the last few weeks. No longer exist. Like Conker's Pocket Tales, they're no longer entering circulation. But I was thinking I need to buy a Steam Deck. 2025 is the year I'm going to get a Steam Deck. And then in the last 52 weeks, minus the 1 week spent yapping in my microphone, I got a Switch 2 because of the Donkey Kong of it all. I got a Blaze Evercade because of Conker's Pocket Tales. And I got, just this morning, I purchased or pre-ordered the Virtual Boy headset for Nintendo Switch 2 and Nintendo Switch for the Virtual Boy NSO release in February. So my point is, I am still nowhere close to getting a Steam Deck, but I'm happy with my purchases this year.
I think you should be happy. I don't know what you would do with a Steam Deck. Isn't it just a computer?
Well, yeah, it's a computer in your hands. It's a computer I don't work on. I'm not a PC gamer. I'm not somebody who can sit on my computer playing a little video game on my computer. No, the computer is to work. It's to do serious Donkey Kong journalism.
It's for spreadsheets. Yeah.
Spreadsheets, yeah. Spreadsheets and graphs and budget analysis.
At a push, Minesweeper. But that's not even on Steam. It might be on Steam, I don't know.
So I spent a long time, once they announced this in August to the release in November, I spent a long time debating which Evercade to purchase. And I got the Evercade EXP-R, their current primary handheld device. And it's
Evercade EXP-R.
Yeah, it's the follow-up to the EXP model. I had to research this. I didn't know. Anyway, it's nice. It's a nice little handheld device.
It's a nice object.
Yeah.
Yes.
Matt,
shall we compare notes on our Evercade systems?
Yeah, what are you playing it on?
I have got a original Evercade, the OG, as the cool children say.
So you've got
a newer one.
You got the EXP? Is that the one you got, or did you get the TV one?
I've got one. I've got an Evercade. That's it. It's just what is all it is. It's just an Evercade. It's just the first one that they brought out in 2020.
Oh, wow. You got the pandemic model.
I got it's a bit COVID-y.
I hope you disinfected
I've been vaccinated, so I think I'm okay.
Okay.
But don't play the original Evercade if you're unvaccinated, or you'll be in for a hell of a time.
Stay away. So my options were a little bit limited because again, it's a UK export or import. So I had to settle for the EXPR. I wanted just an EXP because it has the like HDMI connection where you could actually then hook it up to your TV or monitor.
I think this one lets you do that. It's got one of those mini HDMI ports in it, but there's no controller. So
yeah, I know, but you could still put it on your TV and then you could get sweet Conker's Pocket Tales footage.
That's true. I haven't tried it. I don't know if this is worth talking about, but I might do it anyway because I like complaining.
Please complain.
They've done a Microsoft. They've got A and B the wrong way around.
Oh, they've done a mic. You never want to do a Microsoft in 2025.
Can computer game companies just grow up, right, and agree which way around A and B should be? I don't care which way around it is. Just agree which way around it should be. It's not that hard.
Apparently it is, because they can't agree.
At least PlayStation have the good sense to sort of go with like circle, square, triangle, waves, or whatever it is they've got.
That's why I will never be a PlayStation gamer. I don't abide by that nonsense. I don't. That's my breaking point. Just put weird shapes on there. What is this? What is this, a game show? No, give me letters and numbers.
That's all fine. Okay, look, we'll talk about PlayStation in a minute, because I'm not finished complaining about the Evercade, because this is the thing, Kyle. They know they're doing it wrong. They know it. And do you know how I know that they know it?
How?
Do you know how I know?
How?
When you play Conker's Pocket Tales, it's the other way around. They swap it deliberately because they know that they've got them the wrong way around on their stupid console. I found them out. Anyway, apart from that, I like it.
You can you can switch the controls around though, can't you?
Well, probably. I've not looked into it.
Probably.
What you can't switch around is what's printed on the buttons.
Yes, that is true. You cannot switch that around. But yes, I got it at EXPR, and I wanted to get the one with the HDMI connection so I could get sweet Conker's Pocket Tales footage, but they discontinued it, and it wasn't available in my options, so...
Yes, so this is a fun thing, isn't it? So you've been playing a lot of Donkey Kong Bonanza and other things, of course, and I think we have both become addicted to using the Nintendo Switch's screenshots feature.
Yes.
To sort of chronicle our adventures. And it's been very difficult for me going through Conker's Pocket Tales and not being able to screen grab every single interaction I have with an acorn person.
It's completely rewired how I play games, where every 3 feet my character walks, I want to take a screenshot of it to preserve it so I can make a little flip book of my experience. But yeah, you can't really do that. Now, there is the Evercade VSR currently, the successor to the VS, which is a console that allows you to play Evercade cartridges on your television. And, I might have to double dip eventually when there's more rare collections, if there are more rare collections, so I could get footage that way for DK Vine for all my silly little videos. Yeah,
that would be good. That would be. I'd really like to just have a screenshot facility on this thing. It's funny how something goes from being a fun extra to like, this is a necessity now.
The lifeblood.
I need this in my console. Yes.
Right. But I will say the EXPR, the battery life is surprisingly strong on it. I have not had to charge it since I initially charged it. And I've been playing it for several hours. Like, I'm well into Conker's Pocket Tales at this point, and it doesn't need charging, and it feels a bit weird, especially after playing the Switch 2 so hard this summer.
It's nice to be able to play a handheld that's somewhat lighter than the Switch 2, shall we say.
Oh yeah, I mean, I like the heft, don't get me wrong, just like I like a big chunky case to put media in, but at the same time, it's also nice to pick up something like a croissant every now and then, and you're like, ooh, it's so airy.
A croissant?
Yeah, I was just trying to think what would be light and airy and kind of flaky and buttery. And that really doesn't describe the Evercade anymore. I'm just talking about bread. Yeah. But, sometimes you might want a delicious treat like a croissant.
I'm speechless. Croissant.
I'm sorry.
We say it croissant. This is the emphasis is slightly different. I'm just getting really hung up on it. Croissant. Croissant. It's the same word, really.
How do they say it up in Scotland,
Matt? By the way, I'd like to apologise to the people of Scotland for that slightly insensitive depiction.
No. I want you to explain to me how they pronounce croissants up in Scotland.
Oh, right. Okay, croissant. Probably like that.
Wow, it's like I'm there.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, there's also the Super Pocket, which is the budget alternative to the EXP and shaped more like a traditional Game Boy, which is probably the authentic way to play this being Conker's Pocket Tales.
Well, the authentic way is to just play it on your original Game Boy, which presumably you have.
Let's say that is not a feasible alternative to the youth of 2025. You know, the Conker-starved youth of today.
There's no one that falls under that umbrella that is listening to this, Hyle. I'm sorry to say.
I am hoping we can turn that around. I'm hoping we can have at least one convert listening to this who wasn't around for Conker's Pocket Tales or Bad Fur Day or Live and Reloaded or even Big Reunion. And they say, wow, I really need to get on this Conker train.
I hope so. I hope someone listens to this and thinks I'm going to give it a go. It's a fascinating game.
It is. There's also the Evercade Alpha, which is their bar top arcade cabinet, which also can take the Evercade cartridges. So you could technically play Conker's Pocket Tales in this arcade-like cabinet, which would be pretty surreal and disappointing, I would imagine.
I'd love that, though. An arcade cabinet of Conker's Pocket Tales. Can you imagine the arcade cabinet's artwork?
Yeah, so Blaze has done several themed cabinets. They've got a Mega Man one, for example. It's possible one day they will do a Rare version if their collaboration with Rare is successful enough. The thing is, these are actually somewhat affordable, even compared to the arcade 1-up stuff or the Legends pinball shit that Rare partnered with for their Sea of Thieves pinball game. I was looking at the prices of this and I was thinking, if they actually ever released a Rare, iteration of their alpha machines, I could probably pinch the pennies for that, despite the fact that I can no longer access pennies.
I think a little part of you would be quite annoyed that you felt that you had to do it, though.
Oh, don't worry. I would complain. So much, but...
Oh, no, they brought a Rareware version of it out. I'm going to have to buy it. I'm going to have to not eat for a few months. Doesn't matter, I don't really like food, but even so, I don't like it food to survive.
Although apparently I've developed a taste for croissants.
Yes, or croissants, if you will.
I really like the Evercade, though, as a platform, as basically this little device that will play curated ROMs of vintage games. It's actually pretty nice, and it feels good. It feels good in your hands. The tactile sensation, the buttons have a nice clunkiness to them. Like you press them down, and it's got that nice clickety clack that you look for.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like I don't have any issue with the hardware itself. I know you had to like update your firmware on it or whatever.
Yes, I did. That was something we talked about before the episode, and I deemed it too boring to talk about on the show, which is saying something. But when I first got it, the game didn't work, and I got a message saying no cartridge inserted or something like that. I can't remember exactly.
You had to vaccinate your
no,
COVID.
I've spent all this money on a stupid thing, and it doesn't even work. I'm gonna have to complain to the person that sold me it on eBay. I got the Evercade from eBay, by the way.
Oh, that's how you got it. I thought you had to vaccinate your COVID era Evercade, and that's why it initially wouldn't play it. So with the model I got, you just connect it to the Wi-Fi, and it updates automatically.
Oh, yours is on the internet and everything. I don't know.
Mine's
if
on the internet and everything.
Internet on it.
Yeah.
You've got a smart Evercade.
Oh no. That which means it'll stop working in 2 years. But yeah, I liked like hopping into it, and the infrastructure is nice because you just slot the cartridge in, and there's no like overhead or anything. It just displays the 12 games for you right from the main Evercade screen. So
yes,
pretty simple.
That's interesting, isn't it? I wonder. I mean, I don't have any other cartridges for it, so I wonder if that's just how all of the game cartridges present.
I would imagine
yes.
so. Yeah, it is.
I have to say, I was expecting some kind of presentation, some like Super Mario All-Stars style game select thing.
Yeah, rare replay, but they just hum the theme song.
Yes.
Play it on a little kazoo, maybe.
That would be good.
Yeah.
Now would be a good time for you to get that kazoo that you've got and do that for us.
Oh, every damn time you're on, Matt. I have to. All right, here, hold on. All right, hold on. How do I even play the kazoo? I always forget. How do I?
Boom, boom, boom.
All right, that's enough of that.
Hey! Let's give it up for Hyle Russell.
That kazoo was also bought with the money from our DK Vine patrons. Money well spent.
Yeah, do you think do you think some of the people that follow us on Patreon are starting to get a bit suspect?
Yeah, that's why I had to build this as a bonus episode, Matt. This is part of the chronology, but it doesn't count. Don't worry. We got a Donkey Kong episode coming up. Don't worry.
Yeah, I consider Conker to be a Donkey Kong character, so come on. This is a Donkey Kong episode.
So do I, but, you know, when you're facing down the angry mob, you'll say whatever sweet lies gets you out of the pitchforking, the torching.
Come on, it's got Army from Donkey Kong Bonanza in it.
It does. That's what they should have put on the spine of the box. A little rolled up Army from Donkey Kong Bonanza with a little arrow pointing up and an exclamation mark. Not too late to add those stickers, Blaze.
Do you think we'd do well if we were in charge of Evercade's marketing department?
I think they would be out of business.
The cover of this game would just be loads of Acorn people and a picture of Army with a sign underneath it saying, "From Donkey Kong Bonanza," and nothing else. And then another thing on the side saying 48 Acorn people.
You know how Grab by the Ghoulies on the front of its box art, like, promoted that it was from the makers of Donkey Kong Country? And you're just like, well, I guess I can get away with that, considering that is accurate. Like, there are no lies there, really. So,
yeah,
I think they could also promote the fact that this has armies in it. And clearly, the same people who love Donkey Kong Bonanza will be drawn to it because of that fact. But once they get in there, though, they will appreciate the many array of options Evercade provides you. You see that segue there? Because
yes,
you can play this game in the original aspect ratio, in the case of Conker's Pocket Tales, how it appeared on the Game Boy Color, which, that's how I prefer to play it. I don't need to do anything beyond that. There's also Pixel Perfect mode, which makes it a bit smaller, but crisper. And I'm like, I don't need it that crisp, honestly.
Let me just see if I've got those options on my one. This is live Evercading people listening. I don't know if I've got Pixel Perfect one.
This is live Evercade. Matt's turning the Evercade on right now. The original Evercade that Matt got on eBay.
Yeah. I probably shouldn't have told them that I got it secondhand. It's not very supportive of the company, is it?
But they don't make the original Evercade anymore. This is how we compare. This is like a taste test.
Okay. Menu. System. Oh, display. It'll be in display, won't it? Display. Scan lines on or off. That's all I've got.
Oh, no. So you don't have Pixel Perfect mode. That's just something on
Oh, no, I do.
You do? Okay.
This is amazing. And I got something called bezels. What's a bezel?
It's
bezel?
It's an herb.
Oh. Oh. Wow, so many things. Okay, well, I'm going to stop doing that now because it's not very good audio.
No, it's really, really boring for a podcast. But I'm not done because there's also full screen mode for mine, and you can stretch out Conker's Pocket Tales to fit the screen. And I hate this. So because the EXPR is a wide screen, and so if you're like, I don't like seeing it in the original aspect ratio, I want it to fill the entire screen.
Oh, Hyle, don't even get me started. I think there is a significant portion of the human population of this planet that simply don't understand aspect ratios.
No, it's one of my pet peeves. It's one of my little aggravations.
Oh, my photograph won't fit into this square. I know, I'll stretch it. Horizontally, but not vertically.
I'll stretch it like silly putty. And I see this on like YouTube playthroughs of classic games, and I'm just like, no, I refuse to engage in this because this
absolutely
is not
no way.
Accurate. An acorn person is never this wide.
No, absolutely not.
I've counted all 48 of them, and none of them are stretched out like Stretch Armstrong, the corn syrup-filled strongman of vintage toy fame.
I know Stretch Armstrong.
Yeah, well, I was explaining for the children who may not know.
For the listeners
that
at home, yeah.
Once upon a time, toys were filled with corn syrup. But yes, I also have the scan lines. I have the options of doing subtle or strong or none at all. And I picked none at all because I hate scan lines. I hate that option. I don't understand why that is an option because I don't think that's how any of us really perceived these games back in the 1990s.
Yeah, they've got it on the Switch as well for Game Boy games. And yeah, I don't like it particularly. I don't mind the CRT filters they have for the Super Nintendo and NES games.
Even then, though, it feels like it's an exaggeration of how playing.
Sure, but I don't mind it.
It's not as overbearing here as it is in some retro presentations, like Rare Replay. Yeah, Rare Replay was kind of obnoxious when you turn that on. I was like, that's not how any of this looked. That's such an artifice. No, thank you. But that's just me, my boomer ass complaining about things not being the way they used to be.
I don't mind people trying that sort of thing because I do think there is a look that a CRT lends to pixelated things that is worth attempting to emulate if you can. I don't know that anyone's ever done it super successfully.
No, I don't think they've replicated the look.
But the problem is with me, nothing's ever good enough.
I don't think the look of a CRT TV has ever been replicated outside of actually playing on one of those TVs. So why even bother? Like, I don't mind playing Donkey Kong Country in shocking crystal clarity, even though they were designed to be played on the old style televisions where it would kind of hide some sins, some visual ignoble presentations. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. One great thing, though, is that 6 save states are provided. 6 save states. That means there are 6 different points in Conker's Pocket Tales that you could jump into at any point. So if there's a bit of the game that you really enjoy, or in the future, if you want to save for, say, video essay purposes, for maybe a DKU lore tour video on the 48 Acorn People, you can just make a save state in there and then jump right in.
What I want to do is I want to relive the Honker the Skunk hurdle race. I don't want to ever let that memory die.
And then you don't have to replay the entire game to get to the hurdle race. You could just say, I want to play the Honker the Skunk.
Because once you've done that hurdle race, it's gone. You can't ever go back to it.
You can't go back to it, no.
Honker's not playing. Honker's like, I've done my hurdling with you now.
Of course, save states aren't anything new, but the fact that it gives you a generous 6 is why I'm so gaga over it. It's so much better than NSO with its paltry 4.
Yeah, so are you a save state user?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Are you a rewinder?
No.
You're not a rewinder?
I'm not a rewinder, but I am a save stater.
Okay. Okay. I'll choose to believe you.
Let's talk about actually playing Conker's Pocket Tales.
Yes, maybe we should, yes.
In 2025. Does it hold up? Did it ever hold up? What are we doing with our lives?
I don't know if it held up at the time. No, well, listen, I love Conker's Pocket Tales so much, and I don't understand why. I keep saying it's fascinating. It is fascinating.
It is fascinating, right? Like, that is so interesting. Even if it's not that fun to play, I'm drawn to it like a moth to the flame. I can't look away.
I mean, it is representative of a certain kind of game that at the time it came out was sort of dying out, sort of top-down adventure 2D platformer game. It's not really a platformer, but so there's certain things about it, like you can't walk behind objects.
Yeah.
Which are very much a relic of that sort of era. I think Pokemon was a little bit like that as well. You can't walk behind people's houses because it was like the houses have been flattened onto the ground. I don't know if you're following me, but
I think bringing up Pokemon will be a good touchstone because that's a game people have actually played.
People have heard of Pokemon, haven't they?
They have, yeah.
Yeah, there was 2 versions of it, if I remember rightly. Red and blue, or maybe green. Anyway.
Guess what, Matt? There were 2 versions of Conker's Pocket Tales as well.
That's true. But they were not color-coded. Although one of them was in color.
The other was absent color. So it still works in its own way. But yeah, like Conker's Pocket Tales, I'll say this. You know, we've both been celebrating and also kind of poking fun at Conker's Pocket Tales for so long now that I didn't even know how I was going to feel replaying it in 2025, which is funny because I spent so much money to replay it in this format when I still have the original cartridges right over there I'm pointing at. I see it with my eyes right now.
Yeah.
But I was like, you know, I haven't played this in so long, and yet I talk about it, I think about it, I make it an aspect of my work. Yeah. I include it in the tapestry that is DK Vine's output so much.
I think you've hit upon it. Yeah, I think that's exactly it, isn't it? It's the world that it presents to you.
Yeah,
that it's sort of so left of field. This strange world where the only non-Acorn person population is Conker the Squirrel and Berry the Chipmunk.
And Honker the Skunk.
And Honker the Skunk. Oh, and the various bosses.
And the various bosses, yeah. Soul
Siegfried,
and Luxo.
the talking golem.
Siegfried, Soul, Luxo, Waldorf.
Okay, alright, fine. Army.
Histamine.
Yeah.
Swamp Fiend.
Okay, fine.
I know all this by heart. Oh my, I cherish these characters. I cherish this world. I cherish this lore. And yet I was thinking, I don't really want to play this. I don't want to put myself through this because I've been playing Donkey Kong Bonanza and having a swell time. I've been having just a Dickens of an experience playing Donkey Kong Bonanza, and now I have to stop. I have to stop and I have to play Conker's Pocket Tales. And I'm more into talking about Conker's Pocket Tales than I am actually playing Conker's Pocket Tales. It's very odd.
Well, may I just say, I've been playing it for the past couple of weeks as well, and I've really enjoyed it. I think it's great.
Thing. I don't know if it's just nostalgia or if it's actually sitting down to revisit it because it's part of
just revisiting that world apart from anything else. But yeah, I think it plays fine.
I don't often just pull up old games to play them because, my job is to talk about old games mostly. And so when I'm not doing my job, when I'm off the clock, which is what I call not thinking about TT, I'm off the clock, I don't like to play video games. I will generally want to do something else. And the opportunity, the excuse to have to replay Conker's Pocket Tales for this episode and some various other things, I was like, well, okay, I have to do it. And the surprising thing is, again, I don't know if it's just nostalgia. I don't know if it's the absence of not having played it seriously, like playing it from start to finish for so long. I actually enjoyed it. I actually have been having a really good time replaying Conker's Pocket Tales.
Would you like me to... So I've not made too many notes in preparation for this episode. Sorry. But as I was playing through the game, I made some little notes scribbled down, and I'd like to read all of them to you now.
Please.
Okay. Note number 1. Young Conker. In the evil Acorn's first interaction with Conker after kidnapping Berry, he refers to Conker as Young Conker. That's a fun thing. Hotel owner. I've identified a new named individual for the characters list. The owner of the hotel in Vultureville introduces himself. Hello, I'm the hotel owner. So I think he should be called hotel owner.
The hotel owner.
Cactus baddies. A sign that I've not played this game in a long time. I was fooled by the cactus baddies. They're baddies that are disguised as cactuses. I thought they were real. Cactuses. Note number 4. Crossroads. The hotel in Vultureville is called the Crossroads Hotel, which is a reference to the 1960s soap opera Crossroads, which is set in the Crossroads Motel. Did you know that?
I did not know that. That's a very local reference.
Tankard. Collectible tankard. That's the only note. Final note, rankings. So as you know, you can accomplish various rankings as you work your way through the game. Guess what the ultimate ranking is. You probably know already.
Is it Secret Squirrel?
It's not Secret Squirrel. It's Birthday Bonanza!
Birthday Bonanza! That's right. I'm so sorry.
How good's that? For a bit of synergy between our interests.
But if you're into armies...
That's all my notes.
If you're into armies, those are like your two interests right there. This game
yes,
and
exactly.
Bonanza. I like how you start with the rank Woodland Weirdo.
Yes, Forest Fiend. I think. What am I on at the moment? It's like, I think. Oh, well, there's no easy way of finding out without actually going into it. Never mind. This is good audio, isn't it?
And the last thing you want to do is to go back into Conker's Pocket Tales, even after we just talked about how surprisingly enjoyable it is in 2025. No, yeah, I didn't expect to have fun playing this stupid thing. I thought it was just going to be more research oriented. And then I blinked and I was all the way in the Mako Islands. And I was, when did that happen? Have I really been playing this game that long? Have I really gotten to Ted the Boat Builder? And I had. I saw him with my own eyes. And I think...
Treetop Terror.
Thank you. I think...
I'm up to the catacombs.
Again, I think Conker's Pocket Tales is more interesting to think about and talk about than it is to play. But I've also been underselling it a little bit. It's not a terrible game.
No, it's not.
It's not like, is it mediocre? Okay, I'll grant you it's mediocre.
I don't think it's mediocre. It's too interesting to be mediocre.
Okay, the subject matter and its placement in the series and the greater shared universe, that's what pushes it over the line. But as a experience unto itself, I wouldn't say it's mechanically engaging or anything, but it's also not putrid. It's, in my opinion, the most playable game in Rare Collection 1.
Yeah, it sticks out like in comparison to the others, I suppose, because it's the most modern of all of them, which is a strange thing to say.
This 26-year-old game is the most modern game out of the 12, for sure.
But for modern gamers, it's the one that would make most sense to someone coming to it. At least I understand the grammar of this game a little bit. Something like Night Law, it takes a little bit of tuning in to even get what you're looking at.
Right.
Which is no shade on Night Law, which, as I said earlier, was very impressive.
I would also say that, like Conker's Pocket Tales is the most modern of the 12 in Rare Collection 1, Judas was the most modern of Jesus' 12 disciples.
Right, yeah.
I mean, that guy Judas, he was all about the grind, right? He was all about making the money. He was all about the hustle. And I look at Judas and I'm like, there's a guy with a funny YouTube voice, for sure.
I've always said that about Judas.
Yeah.
Hey, Judas.
You know what's the most surprising thing about Conker's Pocket Tales in Rare Collection 1 on the Evercade? You know what? The thing that actually smacked my gob.
Go on. Oh, do you want me to guess? I can try and guess.
Well, I could just say it. It would save us all a little time.
Okay, you could say it. That would save some time.
Yeah.
And stop this becoming another week-long podcast.
Although now that we've spent so long going back and forth about it, I don't know if it would actually save any time at all, considering we've wasted so much in the lead
Maybe
up.
I should try and guess.
Maybe you should have, but at this point, I think I have to say it, because otherwise, we'll be here all day. If you just leave it alone, if you just leave Conker to himself, and you don't pause the game or enter any Evercade menu, Conker will sit down, he'll pull out a Game Boy, and he'll start playing Donkey Kong Land. And I actually hadn't checked this. For some reason, I just completely spaced on... This should have been the first thing I did, Matt. This should have been the first thing I chronicled. But I didn't think about it until doing the show notes for this episode. In fact, the morning of this recording, I was like, wait, does Conker still play Donkey Kong Land in his idle animation? They probably took that out. I would imagine they took that out, just like they took out Conker playing a Game Boy in Bad Fur Day on Rare Replay. So I checked. He still does it. And you hear the Donkey Kong Land theme song.
Yeah, that's good, isn't it? The first I knew of that was friend of the show and DK Vine staffer David Thomas Lynch posted about it on Blue Sky, because I think he got the game before any of us. It's been nice seeing his enthusiasm as well.
So he got it on my birthday. He got it super early.
Not right, is it, David?
I don't even know how he got it.
Doing.
He got it before the official release date. I don't know how he managed that, and he's been
David, can you stop showing off about things that you've got on Hyle's birthday of all days?
It was my birthday, and I saw
Hyle's
that.
birthday. For God's sake.
I felt like David was the evil acorn in my birthday cake.
Yeah. David, you are evil. That's what we are saying.
He took my present from me, which was Rare Collection 1, and he took it for himself. And I couldn't find the present. I am a woodland weirdo who hasn't accomplished anything.
Yeah, crying. You've been crying.
This is actually a pitch perfect, not recreation, but emulation of Conker's Pocket Tales. They didn't take anything out from what I can see. It's exactly the way I remember it. The only flaw to be found is that this does not include the original Game Boy iteration. Yeah, and exactly. That does upset me, just for completionist's sake, because Blaze probably didn't want this monochrome game release. I don't know. I don't know how they do business. I don't know if that's actually a sticking point, if they're like, no, color or nothing. But it's a shame. It's a shame that it's not accessible because, I am one of those fart huffing purists who will maintain that the Game Boy version, remember it had the save points and everything?
Yeah, with the rotating S sign.
It's the last DKU game with save points. I find it to be slightly superior to the GBC version. I don't know if it actually is.
Well, it is and it isn't. So there's certain things that have not been ported over from one version to another very well. I think some of the animations in the color version go too quickly, and it looks odd. I think maybe like the digging animation, for example.
Yes.
Whereas in the original version, it's slower. And also the way the rooms transition from one to another, I think is less... It makes more sense of the perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Because the perspective of the walls is designed to be viewed one room at a time rather than scrolling from one to another.
Right.
So that makes more sense in the original Game Boy version. However, on the whole, I do think the color version is better because they've replaced quite a lot of the scenery with more detailed stuff. An obvious example might be like the windmill is an actual windmill.
Yeah.
And Ted's Boats has a sign that says Ted's Boats on it.
That's
Stuff
great.
like that.
Yeah, I will say the Game Boy Color version looks better, obviously. But again, I am so up my ass with this. Okay.
It's a nice place to be.
We're talking about the virtues of Conker's Pocket Tales, and of course I have to be the ultra hipster and like, well, actually, the superior version of Conker's Pocket Tales is the monochromic Game Boy version that's only accessible via Game Boy Pocket, and Super Game Boy. That is the only real way to experience Conker's Pocket Tales. I mean, if you're a little unsophisticated child and you can't handle that, then sure. I'm like one of those people who are all about subtitles over dubbing, and so for me, Conker's Pocket Tales with the
actually, Hyle, I don't really watch anything with subtitles. I just like to learn the language it's in, because otherwise you're not getting the full experience, so you can shove your subtitles up your arse, quite frankly.
I'm already up there. My head's already up there with my Conker's Pocket Tales opinions. I can't fit anything more.
But if you play Conker's Pocket Tales with subtitles, then you are not my friend! I don't know what I mean by that.
I mean, yeah, you can't really turn off the dialogue, can you? It's not voice acted.
It's funny, isn't it, the way the Acorn people talk to you? Everything they say is very matter of fact.
Yeah.
And one sentence will not necessarily lead to another in a logical way. Like, go and see Forest Guardian, press select to dig a hole.
To be fair, I don't really know how an Acorn would talk to you in the first place. So for all I know,
that's a good point. I take it all back.
for all I know, this is spot on with the experience.
That is spot on how an Acorn would talk.
Yeah.
No notes.
Anyway, I'm actually really pleased with this release. And of course, it's called Rare Collection 1. So I would like to ask you, Matt, what other Rare collections would you like to see from Rare and Blaze?
Yes, so I was wondering about this because I don't know exactly what the capabilities of the Evercade are. I believe somewhat higher spec than the Game Boy, right? I think you could probably stretch to something maybe Super Nintendo level, or maybe more.
I think more. Yeah, I think.
Could you get 3D games on there, maybe?
I think you could. I don't think after a certain point it would be possible, but I think like anything in Rare Replay before you get into the
Grabbed by the Ghoulies.
Well, maybe I don't know. I was going to say before you get into the Xbox era, but it's possible Ghoulies would work. Ghoulies was just in the Rare Replay compilation. It wasn't one of those
so
ancillary games.
I suppose is there anything that wasn't in Rare Replay that would still nonetheless fit the bill for something that could be feasibly played on the Evercade?
So despite
don't know.
despite the grab bag incongruity of this collection, what's Conker's Pocket Tales doing with Underworld and Gunfright? Come on now. I would like maybe some thoughtful future rare collections in this format. Like, it would be great if they got away from Rare Replay a little bit. Rare Replay, it's 10 years old, and that's all well and good, but a lot of those games are available via Rare Replay, or many of them have turned up on NSO. I would like if we could get some titles that, like Conker's Pocket Tales, have not been commercially available since their original release. And what I'm going to suggest, Rare Collection 2 or Rare Collection 3, what if that was the THQ 4? Those 4 Game Boy Advance releases that were published by THQ: Banjo-Kazooie Grunty's Revenge, Saberwolf GBA, It's Mr. Pants, and Banjo Pilot.
Yeah, that would be fantastic.
3 of those are beloved by the fans, and one of them is Banjo Pilot. And I would
in Perfect Dark for Game Boy Color as well.
Perfect Dark for Game Boy Color. Yeah, that's also another overlooked.
For Rare Cow fans.
Rare Cow fans. I know. Somewhere Freezer's screaming at the mention of the Rare Cow. But I'll also do you one better. I'll shock you a little bit. I'll put forth a possibility.
It's been shock after shock this episode, Hyle. My nipples are exploding.
Oh, no. Well, I mean, make sure you get a nice croissant there to butter them with your nipple lactations.
It just seems so hoity-toity. Croissant. I just love the emphasis of it. Croissant. The thing I love about you is you always find a new way of saying something.
Harmonial. See, I can do it. I can do it with so many things. But okay, so the THQ4 would be a huge boon to get those commercially available again, to get them back in the hands of fans in a officially sanctioned package. But what if we could get something that's never been officially released? What if we could get perhaps, I don't know, the voxel build of Banjo Pilot? The build of Banjo Pilot that actually warrants flying in planes? The build of Banjo Pilot that so wowed us that it nearly took down DK Vine the day it was revealed because so many people wanted to talk about it? The voxel build of Banjo Pilot that the stampers said, no, actually, let's not release that because we can't have a game link connection and people want to play it in multiplayer. That's never been true about Banjo Pilot ever, Stamper Brothers.
I mean, I'd love that.
I'm going to say the voxel build of Banjo Pilot. I don't know if it's 100% complete in Rare's archives, but it's probably pretty close. And I mean, I know ROMs of it have leaked, but let's get an official voxel build of Banjo Pilot release. Let's do it.
Yeah, I think once you open this thought experiment up to involving some work going into the product before it being released. That sounds bad. That sounds like a dig. It's not a dig, but you know what I mean? Like where you actually modify. So for example, with Conker's Pocket Tales, if you were to have, I don't know, like a new version of Conker's Pocket Tales that is some combination of the Game Boy Color and Game Boy version. Like, that would require a bit of work. So I'm thinking if you were to release the voxel Banjo Pilot, probably it would need a little bit of work putting into it before you put it out to the public, maybe?
Yeah, maybe. Just a nip, a little tuck, a little tweak here and there.
But once you open it up to things that could just be changed and modified beforehand, why not?
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I can't think of anything.
I'm going to be overly ambitious here, and it'll be inevitably disappointing. when we never get any of this. But yeah, I think it could be on the table for sure. I would be happy with just getting the re-released THQ4, but yeah, if you could like open up the archives a little bit and give us versions of things we never actually got to play, that would be very interesting, and I would be very excited about that.
The thing is, lots of things like that are things that probably couldn't appear on the Evercade, like Donkey Kong coconut crackers.
Yeah, well, I'm not asking for Donkey Kong coconut crackers. I'm not asking
for... Well, why not?
I'm not asking for the 2001 build of Diddy Kong Pilot or the 2003 build of Diddy Kong Pilot. I'm asking for things that Rare could feasibly release. And, you know, hey, look, they've got a good partnership with Nintendo, so maybe give us that build of Diddy Kong Pilots on NSO as well. You know what? Please us. Tease us.
Yeah, they brought out Star Fox 2. Why not Diddy Kong Pilot?
Why not Diddy Kong? You know what? I want every build of Diddy Kong Pilot. I want the Redneck Kong build. I want the build with Mario and friends and K. Rool finding the lost city of El Dorado. I want the build that's basically Banjo Pilot, but with Donkey Kong characters. Give me all of them. I'm greedy. Nom, 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 nom. That sound effect was me gobbling up Diddy Kong Pilots.
Yes, and to listeners at home, that sound effect will be available as a separate download to this podcast. Use it as a ringtone. Why not use it as a ringtone?
Do people still download ringtones?
Do you know what my ringtone is at the moment?
What?
It's, I'll see if I can get... This is good audio, isn't it? It's not that. Ringtone. It is this.
Nice.
Oh, I can't make it stop. Can't make it stop. Anyway, you can edit that out if you like. Just wasting everyone's time. This is what teenagers do in the 1990s. Oh, have you heard my ringtone? Just sat at the back of the bus. Got this cool ringtone.
You know, video games is Nintendo and Sega, and Atari is the old one.
Yeah, exactly.
No, my ringtone is actually you saying, this is good audio, isn't it?
I've said that about 5 times in this episode, and I think if I keep saying it, it will become true.
Yeah, that's your catchphrase. It's what you say when you burst through the door and the studio audience applauds.
Well, this is good audio, isn't it?
I think, despite the promise of more to come and maybe more cohesive collections to come, I think this is a lovely little release that if you are a hardcore Rare fan, and let me preface all of this by saying you have to be a hardcore Rare fan or a super hardcore DKU nerd to even consider this.
Well, if you already own an Evercade, that's a different kettle of cod.
Yeah, that's the thing. If you have an Evercade or a Super Pocket, then by all means, buy this. What are you doing? Buy it now. If you do not, I'm not saying go out and buy, because, this is going to have to be, you're going to have to be a freak. You're going to have to be a little deviant like us right here. We're raising our hands. Matt, me, we're raising our hands.
Oh, right, yes.
Hands
this
are
is
up.
Good audio, isn't it?
Because we are sick. We are woodland weirdos who are willing to buy an Evercade.
Not me, Forest Fiend, mate.
For Rare Collection 1, but I think it is worthwhile to at least play Conker's Pocket Tales in a format that is, more than just using your keyboard. I mean, you could connect your controller to your computer if you're playing a ROM or whatever. You put your ROM on your little device. People do it. I don't know.
There's ways of doing things. There's always ways of doing things, but there's something special about something being legit. And this, my friend, is legit.
Yeah, Matt, I only know Nintendo, Sega, and Atari is the old one. And I know that your ringtone is good audio, isn't it? But I don't really know much in the way of mucking about and putting illicit ROMs on your video game machines. I don't know how to do it, and I don't care to know how to do it because I have Rare Collection 1. I have a way to play Conker's Pocket Tales in a modern context again. And I do think that some younger fans who have gotten into the DKU in more recent years, and you're interested in all the connections with Diddy Kong Racing, Conker, Banjo, I think you will find Pocket Tales interesting. Will you find it fun to play? Probably not. And
it is, though. It's all right. Come on,
it's all right.
All right.
Here's the thing. Here's the comparison I'm going to make, Matt, because I'm trying to put myself out of my shoes. I'm taking my shoes off. I'm showing off my sexy feet, wiggling those toes, my little illicit croissants that I keep on the end of my legs. And if I'm putting myself in the shoes of a younger gamer, I'm doing it by looking at how I react to the 11 games that aren't Conker's Pocket Tales in this collection. Because I'm probably too young to really appreciate the likes of Saberwolf or Gunfight. Because, like, games I was ostensibly around for, like RC Pro-Am and the NES Battletoads, those still feel pretty clunky to me today. I try to go back to Battletoads and I'm like, did we find this fun? Is this what video games used to be? Oh, I don't like this. I played this? I played these 2D side-scrolling beat-em-up games? This is boring. I'm bored. Stop boring me. And I recognize that if somebody's slightly older than me and that's their jam, that's what they played, they would find that opinion sacrilegious. They would look at us having proved definitively that there is a God, thanks to this reissue of Conker's Pocket Tales. They would say, well, you're offending God as I understand them because you are not getting into Battletoads or, I don't know, Lunar Jetman, perhaps. And I respect that. And look, if you are younger, you'll probably find Conker's Pocket Tales to be worthless trash. But if you're into the DKU, if it's indeed one of your passions, I do think you owe it to yourself to play Pocket Tales properly at least once in your life. You deserve to have some iteration of it in your library, your home media shelves.
Yeah, just for a glimpse of the direction the Conker series was going to go into. Prior to the Pooh. And again, it's not a bad game. It's just kind of there. It's always there, Hyle. It's always there in our hearts.
It's always there in our hearts, but it hasn't been there for 26 years or so. And now it is again. And I would think, it's mediocre compared to the other Rare releases of that era. Sure. And even later projects that Pocket Tales team members would work on far outclass Conker's Pocket Tales. I always like to point out the quality of, say, Grunty's Revenge or Saberwolf GBA or It's Mr. Pants, but Gary Richards, who did design on Conker's Pocket Tales, would go on to do Platonic's shining masterpiece, Ukulele in the Impossible Lair. And there's a lot of Conker's Pocket Tales in that. So I think Pocket Tales being the direct bridge between Diddy Kong Racing and Conker's Bad Fur Day definitely makes it worth checking out if you are into the history.
Beautiful, Hyle. Absolutely beautiful.
Well, I've always said that Bad Fur Day would not have worked. It wouldn't have landed if we didn't have a pre-existing Conker adventure before it.
I think that's true, isn't it? Like this cutesy person that you knew from back in the day has gone blue. Basically.
Gone blue, yeah. Like, there was something there to subvert in the first place. And that's especially important as the decades march on and people forget about Conker's Quest and 12 Tales Conker 64 being announced and it being in the popular consciousness at the time. I think Conker just being the squirrel who gets drunk and pees on things and fights Pooh, I think that wouldn't work to this day if people couldn't also point to this game and say, but see, that's what he did before then. And it's so interesting. It's so fascinating to get that glimpse of not only how Conker could have felt before that transfusion of adult humor, that like vaccination to inoculate it from the pandemic of cutesy platformers. But we also have this game, this little canonical release that made that Conker's world before the subversion. And that's fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's intriguing.
In fact, in a way, the existence of Bad Fur Day makes Pocket Tales more fascinating than it would have been if we just got 12 Tales. That's basically exactly the point you were just making. I thought I'd just repeat it, though. It's fun to repeat people, isn't it? But in different words.
That's how we've gone an entire week this season, Matt. We just repeat the same things over and over. Donkey Kong, Donkey Kong, Donkey Kong,
Donkey Kong.
Donkey Kong.
I like Donkey Kong Country too. It's good, isn't it?
Armies. Conker faces off against armies in Conker's Pocket Tales. Need I say any more?
I don't know. Are you gonna?
No, because we have calls to take. You can always call the DK Vine hotline at 1-202-630-VINE. That's 8463. Give us a little dial, little ring. And my ringtone is you, Matt.
Oh, right. Saying, this is good audio, isn't it?
I don't know. I haven't heard it. Let's play it and find out. Let's play our call here and see if it is indeed good audio.
Hello, Matt. Hello, Hyle. This is Cornah calling in for Conker's Pocket Tales. And I think probably the most interesting thing about this game is how it reflects on the beta phase of Conker and how it came so close to becoming reality before its Bad Fur Day retooling. It's not like radical changes in game development are new to the DKU. There's Star Fox Adventures, of course, which went through like 3 major revisions or maybe even more. Donkey Kong Racing changed a bit before the scenes before it was canceled. Diddy Kong Racing from Cornah 64, of course. But most of those we only found out about like the changes later on, and we were only privy at the time to a little bit of the drama surrounding Star Fox Adventures. But Conker was going to be a sort of spiritual successor to Banjo, or at least in that vein, for such a long time that we have a Game Boy spin-off game to a Conker game that doesn't actually exist. And it just sort of exists as this weird artifact along with Conker and Diddy Kong Racing, I guess. And it seems like an almost like singular example of something that was that far along. And that's more or less why people talk about Conker's Pocket Tale. About the Evercade re-release, though, Evercade doesn't strike me as something all that interesting on its own. It's another way to play emulated games on some sort of relatively cheap gaming device. And because of that, I don't think there's any other realistic thing that I would be that enthused about seeing. But if you really don't want to pirate anything, if you never want to sail the highest seas on the Sea of Thieves to get your hands on some ROMs, then maybe we could fill out the library a little more. Thank you for taking the call. I got to go legally crash a party by stealing all the invitations.
Well, thank you for the call. Yeah, why would you want to pirate Conker's Pocket Tales when you could own it in a little clamshell case and put it on your shelf? I don't understand.
Yeah. By the way, I do like how you, in the first minute or so of that call, explained quite succinctly what we've been talking about for upwards of 2 hours. You summarized it beautifully.
Here's the thing. If I had a 3-minute limit to every conversation, I could probably get it done in that time.
You're just jealous of Colmax.
Oh, okay. Well, look. All I'm saying is we need to support Rare Collection 1 because we need to let Rare know the public demands more. We demand more Rare collections, yes, but we also demand more Conker's Pocket Tales. And am I advocating, seriously, for a sequel to Conker's Pocket Tales? Yes. Yes, I am. The thing about Conker's Pocket Tales, and you've already alluded to this, Matt, is that there are 48 Acorn people in it. And what the Acorn people provide us is another bullshit character template beyond just Kong or Bear. You just need a silly little character, slap some wigs and little facial hair and sunglasses on it. You got a new character. And you illustrated that perfectly about a decade ago on DK Vine because you introduced a feature to DK Vine called the Super Acorn Maker. And it's a wonderful little gimmick. It's a wonderful little toy, like a Stretch Armstrong doll. Except there's much more you can do with it beyond just stretching it out. You can make anywhere from 1 to 48 different Acorn People varieties. I haven't actually counted how many varieties you can make.
It's probably about 48.
Yeah.
Yes, I had fun making that. Is in my early days of trying to work out how to do coding, really.
Honestly, one of the best things on our site, the most professional looking things on our site at the very least, and it works. The thing still works. It didn't work. It didn't work for a bit when we had all of those AI bots trying to scrape the website. But then I installed the firewall, and
well, that's okay, because I love the idea of AI bots being trained on Acorn People, and I want AI prompts to just produce Acorn People in response to anything that's asked of them.
Yeah, I mean,
that would be my utopia.
That would make AI a little bit more tolerable. I mean, everybody's out of work and nobody can afford anything, and the environment is wrecked, and electricity is all gobbled up. But at the very least, the language models will think that Acorn People are all people anyone, anywhere cares about.
Quite. Yes, so if you want to go to Super Acorn Maker, which is my feature on DK Vine, you have to go to www.dkvine.com/features and scroll down to Super Acorn Maker. And you can make your own Acorn person. And supposedly you can save it. I don't know if that still works. A lot of this I've not checked. But do it if you want.
Yeah. I made one this morning just to see if it still worked. I didn't save it. Yeah. We've talked about some religious things.
I tried to make a thing where you could save the resultant image to like as an image file on your computer, but I think that flags up lots of firewalls and things because I like I say, didn't really know how to code things properly.
You can always just print screen. You can always just take a screen grab.
That's true.
And you can always say, hey, look, I made an acorn that looks like Jesus, Judas's friend.
Judas is busy. Or should I say Jesus is closest associates? What is it Evil Acorn says of Siegfried?
Closest, yeah. It's some little...
His best friend, basically.
Yeah, it's some little line that we became obsessed over because...
It's a shame we can't quote it verbatim. But
it's a shame.
You get what I was referring to.
If only there was a way we could replay Conker's Pocket Tales easily.
If only there was some way of screen grabbing it.
I haven't gotten that far yet. I haven't gotten to Siegfried, but I will create a save state right before then so I could revisit it and commit it to memory this time.
I'm sure it's something like my most trusted associate. It's just like he can't quite bring himself to say friend because he is, of course, evil.
My paralegal, yeah. And yeah, to the caller's point, I realize that not everyone will want to buy an Evercade capable device on the promise of one release alone, let alone a release that entails Conker's Pocket Tales. But if it is indeed followed up by more rare collections, I think this could become a reliable platform for stuff like this. And at the very least, it provides a little bit more permanence than Nintendo Switch Online, if that ever goes belly up, if that ever runs into rights issues and they start pulling stuff.
Well, that's the thing about these digital downloads and things. It could just disappear at any moment, couldn't it?
Yeah, I mean,
right.
This exists. Right. This exists in a nice clamshell, like a Disney movie, like I don't know, Beauty and the Beast. Remember that one? Or Aladdin? It's like that, but you've got it on your shelf. And
Dumbo is one of them.
Dumbo, yeah. And they can't break in later and say, we're putting this back in the vault, yoink, and take it from you. It's like, no, I got it. I own it. I can put it in my Evercade whenever I want. And I can appreciate Conker's Pocket Tales with 48 varieties of Acorn People. I think that's worth spending over $100 to replay a game I don't like very much.
Yes. What do you think is your most absurd purchase as a consequence of you working for DKVine.com?
Oh boy, I've made some
put you on the spot
shameful
a bit with that.
Yeah, I've made some shameful decisions in my life, let me tell you. Probably those first 4 figure statues of Conker and Banjo and Kazooie.
They are quite nice though, aren't they?
They are quite nice. I don't have any room for them, and they take up half a room at that. So that was back when it was novel. It was like, ooh, we're getting merchandise for these characters.
Yeah, it's funny that, isn't it? Yeah. I remember when we were first getting aboard this whole DKU this DKU train back in the late 90s, early 2000s. I say we as if I was part of the gang back then. I wasn't, but I was interested. Anyway, the point is, back then, this kind of merchandise levels would be absurd to think about.
Yeah.
And now I can get a talking Conker the Squirrel to make it relevant to this episode.
You could also get the talking poo that he fights in the game that came after Conker's Pocket Tales.
I don't have Chucky Poo as this website insists on calling him.
I don't know why it insists on calling it. I disagree with that. I always disagreed with that. I was overruled at the time. I call him the Great Mighty Poo.
He does self-identify as the Great Mighty Poo.
He does, and I think we have to respect
his song
that.
Is called Chucky Poo's Lament.
Well, I think that's the big thing about 2001 versus now, is we did not respect the preferred name of the talking poo monster, and now we do. We do.
Yeah, maybe we should go in and change that.
Maybe we should.
Yeah. Do we have any other calls?
Matt, this is an episode about Conker's Pocket Tales and 11 other games that we didn't really discuss because they don't have anything to do with Donkey Kong or Banjo-Kazooie or Conker. And this is for the Blaze Evercade. And nobody cares. Nobody but us and David and maybe Jem and Freezer out there somewhere. Nobody cares.
I'm surprised even we didn't lose interest.
This has been a File 2 production.
Que rico.
This is good audio, isn't it?